James, tell us about, I suppose, your first cap and playing against Wales, proud moment. Strange not having your family and friends there, but still a proud moment all the same.
Yeah. Like when I rang my dad telling him that I was starting, he literally sent back, he's, not too much through the phone, he sent me back almost like a thumbs up over the phone. That's sort of how it was. But then, he sent me a message after that just saying how proud he was and how awesome the family feels about it. And they were up first thing in the morning watching. And yeah, it was awesome, like to be able to, play at home, to put in a performance against a very good Welsh team. I know they're going through a few problems of their own in terms of the coaching stuff, but I mean, there's still some highly experienced internationals. Their back three, there's Lions caps all throughout that as well. So for us to be able to perform against them was awesome.
You put your mark down fairly early against Liam Williams. You got into it fairly early and fairly fiery with him.
Yeah, it's always been like that. I don't know what his problem is with me. The only time he pushed me in the back again. That's the only time he's actually being physical with me is when my back's turned. So we actually had a set move and it was just fortunate it was on my side and then I had him in front of me. I could have gone left or right, but I really wanted to go at him. So, that's only a small battle within the whole greater scheme of things, and that whole game, it went by like that. That's the unfortunate thing. You wish you could do it again, but to also manage to get over the line was awesome. That scrum went down so many times, and I was actually in Caelan's ear every single time. I was like, look, we're going to have a quick scrum here. You're going to get it. You're going to get outside the flankers. 10's going to come at you, and then please pass me the ball. Just please do it. And the scrum kept going down, and I kept nagging him. He's like, mate, you just need to chill out. I'm going to do this. If that happens, it happens. So fortunately it did, and to be able to get over the white line was awesome, yeah.
It's interesting to hear that because I think a lot of people said it looked like a planned move. From the way you set up behind the scrum, it was like Caelan knew he was passing you that ball.
Yeah, right from our scrum had gone down a few times. We were under a little bit of pressure, so it was a quick scrum, was literally a quick hook straight to him. He was going to get out and beat the flankers. So it was a planned move, and it was just fortunate. It was like that line out move was just fortunate. It was on my side, and then the scrum was fortunate. It was there as well. So, mate, I was stoked, to be able to come off the pitch and have put in a shift. That there's always what you want to achieve.
With Liam Williams, obviously he's a very competitive player and kind of fiery player to come up against. There is definitely similarities between yourself and himself in the sense that you're the kind of guy you'd rather have him playing in your team because he's infuriates the opposition.
Yeah.
He's willing to get up in their face, and he never really shirks the contact side of it. Was there much verbals as well, kind of on the pitch, or?
I'm open that I'm a bit of an instigator when it comes to a lot of things that happen on the pitch. I'll always poke the bear, and I don't do much else apart from that. I get a few carries and then I'll just poke the bear and pick up the forwards when they do a good scrum or something like that. So verbal, there's always yourself, Mads. It happens. You just be careful with what you're saying. You don't say too much because the unfortunate truth is that sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you run over someone, sometimes you get run over. So everyone's got their sunny day, so you take the good with the bad.
Would that be something that you would bring into every game? Would you try and do that with every opposition, or just someone that you've had a tough with before? Or
potentially, I wouldn't be a hothead by any means, but I'd always poke and prod and see if you can get a reaction. Once you get one reaction, it's almost like a chain effect, if you can keep someone off the game. Because the reality is I'm a winger and I stand out on my edge and, bark, tell everyone else what they're doing right and wrong. So, if I can get a wee win like that, it's always a good one. Yeah.
True that you called him bow-legged and said he arrived to the game on the back of a horse.
No. See, I would never have said that. See, to me, there's always a few lines, and I try and stay well and truly on the right side of them.
That's actually a line Matty O'Connor used back when he was coaching Leinster. He said, "That bloody scaffolder arrived into the game in the back of a horse."
Tiger's the type of player, like, you don't see many props with his sort of skill set. And I mean, Andrew is an amazing athlete, don't get me wrong, but Tiger's footwork, he's a leader in his own right. You know, he's not someone who talks too much in terms of a rugby sense. He talks a heck of a lot in the changing room, but you know, he's a leader in his own way and how he plays. He's clinical, he's a lion. You know, it's unfortunate he wasn't there. And Gary, I mean, words can't describe, you know, the golden boy there. You know, he's an awesome human on and off the field, and brings such a level head for such a young man as well. I mean, I think he's got that 13 jersey sealed up, if you ask me, but I could be a bit biased as well.
I saw a quick fire round that he did with Sports Joe recently, actually, and he said it was like, who's the strongest, who's the fastest, who's the most dedicated, and like, who's the most banter. He said you.
No. No. Gary, jeepers. No. I'm the butt of most jokes. That's like, I'm not the joker. I'm the one that the joke's been played on. So yeah, he might be a bit confused.
So they're laughing at you.
Yeah,
instead
not
of
with
laughing
me.
with you.
Yeah,
that's the difference there.
One day.
We've got one tough question here. What is your reaction when you hear Chris Ashton has called you too big, too heavy, and too slow?
Yeah, I answered this throughout the week. You know, like I didn't hear the full context of everything, and I mean, I'll stand up and say, like, that Jonny May try, I didn't think he was going to score that, and I know it's my role to get back there and stop it. So I fully understand that. But as someone who's still a player or you know, he's still playing professional rugby, who would probably have more of a player's perspective on things, could probably have understood or worded it in a different way. Like, I didn't see it, and I didn't see what he said or hear what he said. But you know, to come from another player is a little bit, I don't know, for me it's a bit much. But someone who probably understood, like someone who actually understands the game and the context of the game, and yeah, I don't think it was very nice.
With that, like, when it's coming from another player. So, like, for example, he knows that in different defensive systems, you could have been told, look, when the play goes down that left side, don't be crossing over the centre line of the pitch. You know, you've got to be ready, because England will go width to width again. And if you're not there, you know, shoring things up. I'm not saying that was the system, but I'm just saying, as a player, there's a lot of stuff going on. So for like even for us at the weekend there, bloody Colby put in a chip and I was a yard behind, end up tackling him, he slides over the line and scores. You know, you can look at that and say, oh, look, I should have been on my bike quicker, but I thought we were going to make a tackle. I thought, you know, the play was going to end up coming back down the opposite side. You know, so it is disappointing when you see, you know, current players coming out and being critical about situations where there's a lot of moving parts. You know, so yeah, but sure, look, he's probably trying to step up and make a bit of a name for himself. But
yeah,
he's next on your list.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind him in front of me either. That's for sure. But yeah, like I mean, it's easy. I mean, I took responsibility. Like, I should have been there and I should have stopped it. I was absolutely bollocksed, in fairness. But for someone who's also played international rugby, who would have a fair amount of understanding. But yeah, like I said, like I didn't hear it or see the context of how he was saying it. So, but yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind him in front of me every now and then. So see how we go.
House of Rugby Ireland, here on Joe, together with Guinness. Game changed.